Joining us now from Madrid is Spanish football expert Ruri Barlow. Ruri, great to have you on. Thanks so much. Well, what a way to win it for Spain, but you have to feel for the Belgian goalie, Sander Lammers. What happened there right at the end, all that drama?
Yeah, it's gonna haunt him for quite some time, I think. I mean, Pau Cubarsí takes a long shot from outside the box. It looks simple enough to handle, and he spills it into the path of Mikel Merino, who pounces onto it, showing again his credentials as kind of an auxiliary number 9 for Spain. That's the second time, of course, in 2 games that he's come off the bench and scored a late winner for Spain. But yeah, you do feel for Belgium. You could see kind of the slightly watery eyes of the veterans, Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, probably their last World Cups. But for Spain, obviously, huge delight, and they're reached just their second semi-final in their history of the World Cup. So that is quite a monumental step.
Yeah, we're seeing video of Spanish fans absolutely savouring the moment there in the heart of the capital where you are in Madrid. Ruri, Spain proving they're human after all. Because why? Well, they actually conceded a goal. What's it been like there watching along with the fans in terms of emotion and reaction to the performances as the team have advanced through the tournament?
Yeah, to be honest, this evening there was a growing frustration, I think, with the Spain side because they spent a lot of time in the Belgian half and they looked as if they were going to get that goal. But that final pass, that final kind of shot never quite came from Spain. And so I think that's kind of building on some of the kind of previous games. They've played 6 games now and they've never quite felt as fluid as they can be. So there was kind of a building frustration and there was kind of a release and I think a bit of relief that that goal went in because Spain had dominated the game, ultimately did enough probably to just about deserve the win. And had it gone to extra time, then I think the nerves would certainly have set in.
There's always so much scrutiny on Lamine Yamal, isn't there? And it's hard to imagine. We need to remind ourselves, right? He's still a teenager. We know he wasn't fully fit ahead of the tournament. How do you assess his impact on the tournament thus far?
Yeah, Lamine Yamal has had kind of a tournament that's been in fits and starts. You've seen kind of bits of him. He scored, of course, Spain's opening goal in the World Cup after just a few minutes against Saudi Arabia. You saw him kind of take the game to Saudi Arabia, and there have been points in kind of each game. Against Austria, he was very good in stages, but we do kind of feel that he's lacking that kind of step of sharpness, the decision making. Sometimes he'll kind of go on the outside or go on the inside. There's a feeling that Lamine Yamal himself, I think, is quite down on his own performances because he feels like this is his big stage to perform. He feels like this is his chance to kind of make his mark, not only on the world, but on kind of on football itself. I wonder if he doubts that this is kind of passing him by a little bit. So Spain were expecting a little bit more from him. I think Lamine Yamal himself has been expecting a bigger game, a bigger performance against kind of Belgium. Now, obviously, going into France, that will be the biggest stage of them all. I think the job for De La Fuente, the Spain manager, will be to ensure that Lamine Yamal is calm enough and relaxed enough to kind of perform at his best rather than putting pressure on himself rather than anyone else.
Yeah, still time to really make his mark on this tournament. Let me put you on the spot, Rory. You know what's coming. Is Spain's name on the trophy again, do you feel? Can they be champions of the world for the first time since 2010? What do you say?
Yes, I think they can. I mean, I've been saying it since the start that they're my kind of favourites to win the competition. So to back out now would be a cowardly move. But even tonight, I mean, we talked about that defence again. I mean, 2 shots on target for Belgium, 0.37 XG. They faced just 7 shots on target in 6 games. So I think that defence, if it holds up against France, they will eventually score, even if they might make hard work of it. I still like Spain to win the World Cup, even if France will take some stopping.
All right, thank you so much. It's La Roja against Les Bleus. Can't wait for it. Thank you, Rory. Appreciate your time. All the best to you and your family.
Pleasure as always.